All right. Hello, everybody. I am here with Noah. As you remember, he is one of the players on the side of our Simplicity CCL team. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing well.
Good. Good to hear. Yeah. So we just want to know a little bit more about you since, some of these players are kind of new faces, some of them a little bit more familiar. You are on the lesser known side of that. Did you play in HGC or Open Division at all? This is really your first time in a competitive atmosphere as far as Heroes goes.
I played an HGC Open Division in 2018. I played on a top four Open Division team in the first season with a couple known names like BKB, Liam. Um, those are two of my good friends. And then I moved on to playing with Howwin, Caesar Salad, and Diesel in the next phase. But as we know, that phase didn't end up happening. So.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I played an HGC Open since HGC Open died. I've played a bit of the Division S. I played NGS, things like that. Just uh, tried to keep playing the game. I like it a lot. So
Yeah, definitely. I was going to ask what you did before CCL. That kind of covers it. Anything else that you really did? Because I know you did say NGS and some other stuff. Was Open Division the main thing, or really, what have you been doing in between Open Division and then, when we finally got a little bit more Heroes action going?
yeah, I played in Division S with Team Good Guys. That was me, BKB, Unaverted, Legacy, and Mysticles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I played with Mysticles for pretty much all of my time since HEC Open died. He and I are pretty good friends. We were roommates. So I've been playing with him. I've been on a couple top 30 teams since then. Um, but yeah, most recently I've been playing with CPX Fan Club, now Velocity, in NGS. So
Wow, a lot of really fun stuff. Some big names there. A lot of your friends there on the other teams currently.
yeah,
So
they are. It's always a fun dynamic to play a CCL game or scrim or something like that, and come back and you know shit talk each other in our personal Discord. It's pretty fun.
yeah, that's always. It seems nice. I've always really admired you guys up at the higher levels of play because I'm a gold scrub. I'm not that good. So whenever you get a message from somebody after a game, it's always like, you suck. Why are you on my team? Uninstall all that good stuff. But for you guys, it seems a little bit more like, oh hey, nice duel up in the top lane, and those kinds of things.
Yeah, it's a bit of that in competitive, and not necessarily in Storm League. In Storm League, it's about the same. You know, everybody wants to hate everybody else in Storm League, but in
Yeah.
competitive, we can throw some jabs at each other. It's pretty fun. So
Right. So now we've covered a little bit of what you did before. Just so people who might not be aware, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you, and what do you do for Simplicity as far as our CCL team?
yeah, so I'm Noah. First and last name is Noah Overby. I'm the sub. I'll play primarily range DPS, but I have competitive experience in every role except for support. So to my knowledge, that's why Simplicity last picked me, is that I'm a valuable sub to have. I'm somebody who, if Cure is missing, I can play melee. If Wit is missing, I can play tank. Lutano or Hosty, I can obviously play range DPS. Got a
Mm-hmm.
pretty big hero pool, so that's something that I like to exploit and draft. Something that if you're familiar with our NGS team, you'll see me on heroes ranging from Hanzo to Sonya to Arthas, sometimes even throwing a Karazim game in there. I can really play almost every hero in the game, so it's a really valuable asset to have in a sixth man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and you had your first match this week. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way that I think most of us were hoping. But especially game number one, you guys killed it. So if you want to talk a little bit about how are you feeling about CCL as a whole, and how did you feel about your map versus Sidestep Kings?
So I feel like as CCL as a whole, everybody wants to try to figure out where each team is power ranked, and it's really hard to say because we have a
Mm-hmm.
low sample size of games.
Right.
Um, but as far as where Simplicity stands, I think they're a significantly stronger team with Lutano right
Mm-hmm.
now. I feel like in our match against Sidestep Kings, I played pretty well in the first game, but I struggled in the later three games. Bit of inexperience and a bit of a hero pool thing. Just between Hosty and I, we shared some hero pool, or we shared our hero pool, and so there were. I was on Junkrat, which I'm not super familiar with. I've played it a bit, but typically that would be the DPS, the other DPS on the teams I've played. In game four, I got my comfort pick of Tracer, and I just played really bad. Honestly, I had probably one of the worst Tracer games of my career, and it showed. So I think that that match is not indicative of how Simplicity versus Sidestep Kings is supposed to go.
Hmm.
I think that it is typically going to be a much closer series, though I'm not sure which way.
Right. And I mean, you're giving yourself a little bit of grief for game number four. I don't necessarily agree. Like in the early game, you guys really, really had it. Like there are some things where I'm like, all right, this is where we're going. Game number five, and then just as they went on later, they scaled a little bit better. I think maybe that's
Right.
where things
I
kind of
think
fell apart.
I had a couple of opportunities to kill Ultralisk on the Li Ming with a pulse bomb. I missed like three or four of them. So typically, if you're familiar with watching my tracer, those are the kills that I go for. That
Hmm.
it always seems like I narrowly escape, and missing the pulse bomb, it just you miss out on the health from your level four, the extra blink. All these things turned into, instead of it being a kill for us and me getting out, to a kill for them, and nobody dying on their team. So there was definitely a bit of a mechanical aspect to it that I was lacking on. Also, Kyocha with the level 16 teleport talent on Imperius caught me off guard a lot. I had not seen that
Hmm.
used
Yeah.
in a competitive sense, and I mean, it just killed me a lot. So it's definitely something that I can look to learn from and improve upon. Next time I see an Imperious hit level 16, I'll definitely press tab to see what talent he's picking instead of just assuming it's the armor down talent.
Right. Definitely. Well, um, other than that, I think the last thing is now that you guys have played, your first match in CCL, there was definitely some highlights, some lowlights, some things that maybe you need to go back with the team and work on. What are your personal goals for the season, and what do you think are the team goals as a whole?
I think the team's goals as a whole is to win. These are all really strong players. They're really talented. They played together for a long time in the past, so that they know kind of what each other's general idea for the game is going to be. There's been, a bit of a rough period integrating wit, but I think that's all but over now. I think that
Hmm.
we're all pretty much on the same page. So as a team, I think our goal is nothing short of winning CCL. My goal as an individual is to come into the series, or come into the season, and learn. Um, Before CCL started, I was pretty confident that I was a DPS player who, like, there's no way I go unpicked in CCL. But
Hmm.
after playing some of the games and looking inwardly a bit more, I've learned that it's not as cut and dry as that. So my goal for CCL as a sixth man is just to learn what I can, try to improve as much as I can, prepare for the future of HOTS, whatever it may be that CCL season two, another NGS season, things like that. I'm really trying to look at this as a growing opportunity for me as a player.
Definitely. Well, I'm excited to see how you guys do. Excited to see how you yourself do. And we'll get to see you some more. I mean, there are some interesting matches coming up for you guys. I believe it's Chili Mountain next week. How are you guys feeling about that?
I don't think it's any shocker to hear me say that Chili Mountain is one of the weaker teams in NGS. I think that anything short of a 3-0 for Simplicity is going to be disappointing.
Right.
Um, so, the guys are really just going to look to try to make sure we play as clean as possible, make sure that we stay on top of our macro game, because unless we completely throw draft, I don't see that there's any way that Chili Mountain could take a game off of Simplicity.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll have to see. Thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me. Hopefully, you guys back at home get to learn a little bit about more about Noah. It was definitely, I learned a couple of things about you, and I'm really excited to see how you guys and the rest of the team do.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Thank you so much, and we will see you later.
Alrighty.